In today's video, we're going to learn how to change from one scene to the next. So what I'll do is I'll set one of these flags up so that when our player collides with it, it'll load the other scene up and unload this one. So I'm going to do that by setting up a flag. So just like with everything else, we'll make a new scene. This scene is going to be in Area 2D, just like we've done so many times before. Now, for the flag, I'm not sure if I want to have it start off as being down, and then when they touch it, we could have it raise up and be animated, or have it be animated, and when they touch it, it goes down. I don't know. I'll let you decide which one you want first. But either way, we need an animated sprite. And then, of course, since we have an Area 2D, that means we also need a collision shape 2D. So I'll start off with the animated sprite. Actually, no, I'm going to start off with the Area 2D. I'm going to call it level flag. Then I'll come into the animated sprite 2D. We'll open up the animation, the frames, new sprite, open that up. And here we go. I don't care what color you pick. We do have the yellow guy. We could have it go to different levels too. They're all basically going to work the same. So I think I'll start off with it down. And I'm going to rename this to down. And then I want one for up when they hit up. So I'll hit the plus sign, a new animation, which I'll call up. And for this one, I'm going to grab both of these and drag them in. You can drag them one at a time. It really doesn't matter. And I'm going to zoom in. I want to find a frame rate that I like for it. So if I hit play, that's a little fast. 6. Even faster. Let's go 2. Not enough. 3. 3 is good. 34, not good. 3 or 4. We can season the taste as we go along. That's fine. I'll pause it there. All right, I got one down, one up. The collision shape, I just want to cover the stem part. So I actually have to move this over a bit. Let me take a look here. Yep, they're both in the same spot. So I'm just going to take this and I'll move it about there. Then when I come into here, I can make my shape, which is just going to be a rectangle. And I'll just cover that. I'm going to save this off into my scenes. Then I'll take my level flag. We'll add a new script, which is going to be called level flag. And of course, we should be used to this by now. We put it in scripts. Hit create. And then there's a few things we want to do here. I'm going to get rid of all of the content. But to start off with, I want to export. I'm going to call it load level. It's going to be of type string. This is going to be the path to the next level that we want to load when we touch this flag. Quick save. I'll come into my nodes. Make sure we're on the first one. And remember, our player is a body entered. I'm just going to double click this. It'll only have one script in this scene, so we'll just hit connect. And then while I have it selected, let's set up those collision layers. So for this one, I'm just going to count it as an item. The only thing I want to interact with is the player itself. So that should be it for here. I'll save it off, and just to make sure it's working, I'll come down here and say print. Let's grab that body name. We'll save this off, give it a quick run. And before we do that, we'll come back into main and let's instance one. So we got to come in, level flag. We'll go to the 2D mode. We have to position it. And for now, I'm just going to put it right here-ish. We'll start this up. And when I touch it, I should see the message appear over here. So we'll move into it. And there we go, player, which is right. We'll come back into the script. A couple other things we want to do. One thing is, let's come back into the little level flag. I want to access this node and switch the animation when I collide with it to be the the up one. Now, for little simple things, I always just drag it in here and just say dot play. Then we'll do the up. And this works. If we go ahead and run the game. And I highly doubt I'm going to be changing the hierarchy in here. As far as what's leveled up, But I've been finding myself more and more just wanting to export it. And we'll do var. This is, I'm going to call it, let's call it animation or anim. And it's going to be of type animation, animated sprite 2D. I'll save this off, come up to the level flag, and I can drag and drop this in. And then down here, just say anim. And the reason why I like doing it this way is if I ever decide to change where this is parented, if I have it set this way, we'll come back up to the original, it knows exactly what to load regardless of where I put it inside of this scene. If I leave it the other way, where I'm just actually dragging and dropping it in, take a look now when I drag and drop it in. I'll just throw it down here. If I make it a child here and then I drag it in, its path is different. So take note of that. Going forward, I'm probably going to use this method here where we export it. But I'll just save that off now. And I guess just set it up. I'm going to set up the ready only because I want to make sure that I'm going to play down when it's first added to the level. Now we can set it as the default when the game starts, but I just like to make sure it's there. And it looks like I need to actually change the position a bit just so it's down a bit, but that's fine. We got that part working. Now this whole loading a new level, the way this works is we've already got it exported as a string. We can see it here. What we want to do is come to the new level. So I'm going to shrink up all my assets here. I've come into my scenes, and I guess I could change this a bit too, because I know I'm going to have a few different levels. I want to make a folder specifically just for the levels. So I'm going to say levels. And right now I have one for main, and I'm going to make another one called secondary, or just call it level 2. Now I'm not going to fully make level 2 simply because we're going to be looking in the next video a faster, more efficient way to make levels than the way we made this one. So let's come in, take my main. I'm going to put it inside of levels. I'm going to come up to the top here. I'm going to make a new level. I'll make it a 2D scene. Let's come into here just so we can see it. And the only thing I'm going to put in here is the Godot icon, just so we can see it when we start. And I guess we should also instance the player. And I did not mean to make it a child. I'll put it here. Take note, because it's below the icon, when I drop it, it's going to be on top of the icon. That's fine. When this level loads up, it's going to take my player and drop it down. We could also load up the GUI as well. But again, I don't want to get too far into making this level because we're going to do it in the next scene. Before I do that, let's make sure we name it. Level 2. Then I'll save it. We'll come into the levels. Level 2. We'll save. I want to come back into my main level. And now I need to tell it what level to load. So I can come back into levels, and this is the level I want to load when I touch this flag. So I right click, copy path. I just paste that whole thing in. I'm going to come into the scripts, and right now I'm going ahead and playing the animations and just printing out the body that touched me. I can say tree or get tree dot change current scene to file. And now it's going to ask me for a path. And if we take a look, it's going through all of the different scenes that we have here. But I don't want to use that. I want to use the level load up here. I'll save that off and make sure we spell it right. Then let's take a look at how this works. So I'm going to run it. I'll drop to the world. Now, I'm not really going to see the animation now. We probably have to add some sort of delay while the flag waves, maybe play some sound. But we can see we've now gone to the next level. So that's it for this video. If you have any questions, go ahead and let me know down below. And in the next one, we'll start creating a better way to make our levels. As always, I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.